Hello and welcome everyone, this is Janon with Warframe, another tutorial, and this time I would like to have a look at the relays. The relays are kind of a community gathering point, but it also Hello and welcome everyone, this is Janon with Warframe and a tutorial on the relays. I would like to show you what the relays are for and what you can actually do there. Essentially the relays are kind of a community gathering point, but there is also some gameplay related things there that are unique to them. One thing that I would like to mention before we even have a look at them is that where the relays are depends on which platform you play on, because the relays are on different systems on PC, PS4 and Xbox One. So for PC, the three relays available are the Larunda relay on Mercury, available for Mastery rank 0 players, the Chronia relay on Saturn, which is available for players Mastery rank 4 and up, and the last one is the Orcus relay on Pluto for Mastery rank 8 players. The relays on PlayStation 4 are the Strata relay on Earth for Mastery rank 0, the Chronia relay on Saturn for Mastery rank 4, and the Kuiper relay on Eris for Mastery rank 8. On Xbox One, the three relays are the Vespa relay on Venus for Mastery rank 0, the Leonov relay on Europa for Mastery rank 5, and the Orcus relay on Pluto for Mastery rank 8. One thing that is in common for all of the Mastery rank 0 relays on all planets is that on them you can find the Guides of the Lotus, which are players who volunteer to help new players with their questions and give some guidance in the game. So if you are looking for some help, your best bet is to go there and ask for a Guide of the Lotus. As far as looks go, all the relays are identical, but there is one little detail why it is important which relay you go to, and I will tell you what the difference is when we get there. So let's have a look at the Larunda relay on Mercury. You go there as you go to every normal mission, you choose it on the star chart and then choose Launch Mission. And there it is, out in space, the relay itself. So you already noticed the first difference to a normal mission. You actually dock your ship in sort of a hangar bay and then get out of your Liset or your ship, whichever you chose, all nice and cool. So what you notice immediately is that there is a lot of other players running around, a lot of them running around as Black Excaliburs. That is normal for as long as their models have not been loaded yet. So for easier orientation, I will show you the map whenever I get to a new place. So the way I have orientated the map right now, in the south, so at the bottom there is a hangar, and we will make our way up really slowly now. After the hangar you already get into the first fairly important hall, because this is when you get onto this place, on the left and right there are consoles where usually it shows a timer. What this timer is for I will tell you in a second. It's a so-called Ducat kiosk where you can sell your prime items for the so-called Ducats. What are those used for? Well, every 2 weeks usually a special trader turns up in one of the relays, but he's always only in one of the relay for each of the platforms, so that's why it is important which relay you go to. And when you're on the wrong relay, on this console where you can sell your prime parts, it shows you which relay you have to go to in order to find the trader. This trader then will give you unique rewards and unique things that you can get for your ducats. So it works the way you turn in your prime items there and then you go to the trader where you then can turn them in for different items, mods or whatever he has available. But you can already see on the map that there is quite a bit more here, and there is something that's a nice detail in the relays that I'd like to show you, which is on sort of the outer ring. It's the west and the east ring. As you can see, there's a couple chambers, and that's actually where the syndicates are. You cannot do anything here. Well, that's actually not true. You can do something here that you can't do in your ship, and that is turn in the tokens that you collected during your syndicate missions. And you have to go to the syndicate that you collected the tokens for. The NPC to hand in the tokens will be right at the front for each of the syndicates, and in the back there is the syndicate leader, where you have the same screen as you have in the Liset, where you can see what they have to offer for you, and also where you can increase your rank if you are eligible for that. So that is a chamber for the new Loka, and as you go around you will find all the other ones. Here's the parent sequence, again the same NPCs here, the one that collects the tokens at the front. Then we have the Red Whale, which, well, they have kind of an interesting looking room, I dare to say the least anyway. And on the other side then you have the rooms for Steel Meridian, for Cephalon Suda, and of course for the Arbiters of Hexes. So this is a place where you have the opportunity to look at your syndicate leaders, and also where you can hand in the tokens that you collected during your missions. Here in the front part of the relay you have for one the mission control, which is a place where you can go onto missions, so it kind of replaces navigation on your Liset. So you just have to step onto one of those pads here and use them as you use any other item in this game with the by default X key, and then you can choose the planet to go to with your group. So yes, you can form a group in the relay as well. On the other side of that we have the Conclave Room, where you can do everything that is related to the Conclave. But that is not all, because those things here are elevators. This one goes up, as you can see the stream goes up, and the one on the other side leads back down. In order to use them you just step on them and then you press the use key, in this case to ascend to the heavens. And then you are up here, where you can also see that there's a locked off area. I have no idea what that is used for. So on the one side you have Darvo's market, where you can see Darvo standing around. This is basically essentially just the market. And that's all there is to it, with a lot of stuff laying around that you sadly enough cannot take with you. On the other side of that you have a fairly interesting individual. This is Cephalon Simaris in his sanctuary. And in a second you will see that he's quite a nosy fella. As you can see, he gets right in your face. Hello, Simaris. This room is probably, at least for PvE players, the most important one in the relay, aside from the Void Trader and the Syndicate Rooms. I personally would say this room is more important than that, because this room is directly connected to the Stolen Dreams quest. This is where you start the Stolen Dreams quest, which will also introduce you to a unique mechanics that is unique to Cephalon Simaris, which is synthesis scans. Synthesis scans essentially require you to seek out a certain kind of enemy. Let me show you the console for that on the left side here. So you pick the enemy you want to synthesize, and then you have to go for them until you have 10 scans done, and what you get from that is Well, for one, a lot of information. As you can see, I've done the Lancer and Anti-Mower completely. There's a lot of lore behind those. And you also get reputation with Simaris. What would you want this reputation for? Well, let me show you on the other side, on the right side of him, where you can hand in the stuff.
Make you an even stronger hunter.
Yes, I know. So you have various items here, and as you can see, the first two items cost actually credits. That's the synthesis scanner and the kinetic siphon trap. Those two are used for synthesis. You need the scanner in order to scan the synthesis target, and you need the siphon trap to lock it in place, which will make the scanning much easier. And I will show you in a second why you would want to do that in the first place. That aside, you get various things from him. Here you have 3 kinds of special cores that you use for transmutation only to ensure the polarity of the result. Those items you can get here. There is a sigil for him, of course, that you can get. Down here there is an upgrade for a mod for your Helios Sentinel that will reveal enemies' weak points when they have been completely scanned. You have the Simulacrum access key here. The Simulacrum is a room where you can summon enemies that you have completely scanned to test your builds and stuff like that. And with completely scanned, I mean synthesis scans need to be completed. A special Helios skin. Here is the Exilus adapter blueprint, which you need to unlock the Exilus slots for your Warframes. It costs 50,000 standing, so fairly expensive actually. And the Simulor weapon, which is interesting as far as its mechanics go. So for those who are not interested in the weapon, this is still an extra 3,000 mastery points for your mastery rank. Also, I skipped those 3. Those 3 things are upgrades for your synthesis scanner, and those are really cool and handy. The first one, the cross matrix widget increases the number of scans that you can actually get, because you have a chance with each scan with the synthesis scanner that it will count as 2 scans. So you will save scanners essentially. At least initially you will save scanners, later on you will only save time, because there is the soul battery widget which recharges your synthesis scanner charges, which essentially means you have infinite scanners. This was the first one that I bought, because it was simply amazing. Since I got that, I did not need to buy any scanners anymore. And what's worth noting is that the synthesis scanner replaces your codex scanner completely, so you do not need to buy scanners anymore when you get this upgrade. So that's really handy if you are interested in scanning. And last but not least is the vector thread widget, which will reduce the time that is required to scan a target with a synthesis scanner. So this is quite a bit of stuff, all related to scanning and synthesis scanning, of course, that you can find here. There is one more interesting feature, well actually 2 in this room. One I briefly mentioned over here is the Simulacrum, which you can only access if you have bought the key, otherwise you cannot go there. But on the other side of that, there you can see all the mastery symbols going up around, well, sort of a longish stairway, and what you can do here is you can check out the mastery test for your next rank. Because with each mastery rank that you gain, you will have to pass a test in order to advance in your mastery rank. That is already all the rooms for the relay done though. In order to leave the relay, you can either go back all the way to the hangar, or you just press the escape key and click leave relay, which is what I will do now. And what I would like to show you now is how synthesis actually works. In order to do a synthesis, you need to find the enemy you need to scan. In my case, that is the Grenier Guardsman, who can be found in the Ceres tile set. which means that I will simply choose a fairly easy mission to do, and extermination is easy enough, even if it's higher level, doesn't really matter when there's only a limited number of enemies. So I will do that to find the synthesis target and show you how the whole thing works.
There is a sanctuary target here, Hunter. I sense it. Track it with the synthesis scanner. Don't let it escape.
Okay, you heard it. So when you are in a level where there is a synthesis target, it does not matter if it is for you or someone else, Cephalon Simaris will let you know that there is a synthesis target there. Now the question of course is, how do you find it? How do you spot it? How do you recognize it? Well, my synthesis scanner is on the bottom slot, which is set to F5 for me, which is where I can switch to it instantly, which is really handy. So let's have a look. You see there, right in front of me and a bit further down the path, are those weird digital looking things that are flowing into a direction. Those indicate that you are or are not on the right path to find your synthesis target. You can of course just roam the level in order to find it, and when I come across it I will show you that it is fairly easy to spot it between all the others. But right now this is one way to find it amidst all the other enemies. This here is a guardsman, the kind of enemy that I need to synthesize, but it's not my target. So you cannot just synthesize any of the kinds that you need to synthesize, you have to find a special one. And when I get there, you will see what I mean. Okay, there you can actually see him. I shot him a couple times. Luckily, those targets have more health than everyone else. As you can see, when you look at it, it says Guardsman Synthesis Target. And when I get a little closer to him, you will also see that he's really blue compared to the normal ones. So let's clear everything out real quickly and actually let's get invisible so that they don't annoy me too much. And then I will show you how the synthesis actually works. So how does the synthesis work? You get the synthesis scanner out, and when you look at him, first, once you spotted him, he will show up on your minimap, which is great. But when you look at him, you can see that there is 4 bright dots. All 4 of those have to be scanned for the synthesis to be successful. That also means when you're in a group with other players, each of you can scan 1 point and then the synthesis is done. Bear in mind though, if you do not scan any of the points and you actually need the synthesis target, it will not count for you. So when you're playing with other players and there is a synthesis target in the mission, make sure that you will not steal it away from anyone else and that they get it as well if you come across it. So what happens when you actually scan the points? As you can see, not too much of an issue right now. This one seems to be fairly tame. Yes, he is. Because there can be funny things happening, like they will copy or something like that when you copy one of the slots. The reason I do not finish the last spot right now is that I'd like to show you how the traps work. So you bring up your gear menu, select the trap, and then it will simply lock the synthesis target in place. And then you can easily scan the remaining points. And then the target will simply disappear, and you get the current status of your current synthesis hunt shown to you, as well as a little comment by Cephalon Simaris. And that's basically all that there is to be done for a synthesis. Important is just don't kill the synthesis target, because then no one can scan it. That's not a nice thing to do.
Mission complete.
So this was a little look at the relays to give you a bit of an idea what to expect there and what you can do there. I hope that you got some useful information out of this and know why you would want to go into a relay in the first place. And also I showed you how synthesis is performed so that Cephalon Simaris is happy and can have all the data that he wants to have. This was me, Drennon, with another this time fairly short, I guess, tutorial on Warframe. There will surely be more to come. If you like the video, feel free to give me a thumbs up. If you don't, then you probably did not watch it anyway. Comments are much appreciated if you want to let me know what you think. Also, if you do not want to miss my other videos, subscribe to my channel and also check it out for all of my previous tutorials if you want to look at them. This was me, Drennan, with a Warframe tutorial. I hope that I will see you all again next time. Bye!